Mark, with that, you said it's the best game, kind of answer my question there, but is this probably the most consistent effort you've seen out of your team since maybe the Marquette game?
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's Marquette seems like it was 2015. So it's hard to say. We were off 25 days, and it hasn't been really. It's been difficult. Not for the coaches, more for the players. But I thought that, we didn't play great against LaSalle, but we found a way to win, and that was really, really important. And then, today was, a complete game. We didn't play perfect. We missed some shots, missed some defensive assignments, but I thought the effort was there. We stuck together. We were committed to each other, and it was a good performance against a really good team.
Mark, can you talk about the importance of getting a win like this at this time? There's just the timing of it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like every game is really important. The LaSalle game is really important. This game is, we always tell the players it's important because it's the next game. We only have so many games, and beating a VCU is great, but we got to beat everybody. Every game is important. Especially in the conference. Playing at home and winning at home is really important. Protecting the home court. But VCU's been playing extremely well. Blowing people out, and we knew what type of players they had, what type, how well they're coached, and we knew we needed to play our best to win. And I thought we played a really good game.
You mentioned the ability to take care of the ball. I mean, just again, against them, we saw it, kind of in the second half here last year in the Marquette game. When teams press you guys do such a good job of handling and being able to break that initial line of defense where it just gives you such numbers and transitions and things at the basket. I mean, that's just kind of become a formula against teams like this, it seems like.
Yeah, I think against VCU, it's really difficult if you have a young team because it's so hard to simulate it in practice, what they're doing. But our guys are veteran guys that played against them, numerous times. So they understand what the press is all about, how you have to have spacing. So we have a veteran team that doesn't panic, that understands, what they're looking for. And that's, it'd be different if you have a really young team because that pressure is relentless, and we have good players, and you want to try to get it by the first line and then attack and play vertically, and then you have to make good decisions. If you have young guys, for the most part don't make great decisions. But veteran guys, the game slows down, and that, like I said, that's one of the keys of the game. Making sure that we're taking care of the ball, that we're getting shots, and we're not giving them the ball in the open court.
Similar to what these guys were asking, how just maybe needed, or how nice was it to see a game where sort of wire to wire to be able to build up that big lead, keep it the entire way, and win in the fashion, I guess, that you did tonight.
Yeah, it was a good victory. I'm not going to say it's better than any other one. Every game is, like I said, is important. We want to play well, and I thought we played well against a really good team. Coming off those 25 days and coming off the win against LaSalle, where we didn't play great. We didn't have our legs, which is understandable. But beating a team of this magnitude, that's a really good team. Says a lot about our team and our players.
You got to the line 27 times. They got to the line 8. How big was the foul line?
It's huge. If you look at their stats, the opponent shoots double what they shoot. But the opponent, for a while, weren't shooting a high percentage. As I told the team before the game, like we got to get to the foul line, but we got to make our foul shot. And that's a huge key. To me, the team that gets to the foul line is the team that's more aggressive. And VCU is a really aggressive team. That's the whole personality of their program. And, we wanted to beat them, going downhill and getting into the paint, and going into the paint. And I thought we did a decent job. Like I said, it wasn't perfect, but, we got to the line, we got down vertically, we got to the paint, and we made good decisions.
The 20-fun 1-4 run that bridged the first and second halves. You said Quadri Adams brought some good, nice energy, got those 2 baskets at the end of the first half. What helped the carryover of that energy into the second half to continue that run?
Well, that's the way you end. You always, like I said, the last 5 minutes of the first half, the first 5 minutes of the second half, the first 10 possessions of the second half are critical. And our guys understand that, and sometimes we get off to a good start, sometimes we don't. But we carried over the momentum, and that's what I said. I thought Quadri did a really good job for us in the first half, getting us, those 2 baskets at the end, and then, you know, it's momentum. They came back. We were up by, you know, whatever it was, 8 maybe in the first half, and they cut it to 1. And, you know, those 2 baskets were critical, and they carried over to the second half.
Anything else for Coach? How about just a quick thought on Jalen? Second half, I think he had, through 7 of the first 10 points in that run. Finishes with 25. Just a thought on that.
Played really well. You know, we need him to do that. You know, he's capable of doing that. When he's playing well, we're that much better. And, you know, he shot the ball, got to the foul line, 8 rebounds, he defended. He played extremely well. And we need Jalen to play like that. And when he does, like I said, we're that much better.
Jalen, did you see a difference when after Williams sat with foul trouble, getting to the basket, getting those looks, because he's obviously a pretty good defender.
Yeah, I can't really say I saw much of a difference. You know, he is a really good player, stuff like that. But you know, me and the team were just trying to be as aggressive as possible. You know, regardless of who was in there. And you know, I think we did pretty well with it, just attacking, being the aggressor, and not taking those punches.
You guys want to combine 15 and 15 from the line. How important was it to get there and be successful as well?
That was one of the key points coming from Coach. We try to own the paint every game, and I think today it was 24-24, but we shot much more free throws than they did, or even attempted. So that's what we want to do. We want to play aggressive without fouling, and we want to be the aggressor. Play with aggression, play violently.
Your team had a 21-4 run that bridged the first and second halves. But, you know, Quadri Adams came up with those 2 baskets that sparked your team. But what do you think helped the carryover of that energy and that consistency into the second half?
Just staying aggressive. You know, I think Quadri really came in. You know, some of us were, you know, getting tired in the first half, and you know, those 2 buckets, you know, to go into the half, it was just huge. You know, we all went into the locker room pumped up, you know, just like, you know, cheering each other on and just telling each other it's not over yet. But, you know, I really think Quadri was huge in that.
How big, this is for either or both of you guys, how big was the extra days, because you only had 2 days of practicing with 10 guys going into the LaSalle game. How big was it to just get more practice and then have another film session and see what happened against LaSalle?
First off, I'm just thankful that everybody that was dealing with their situation came out healthy, and there's nothing wrong, you know, especially everything going on in this world. Families are losing people, and I'm glad we didn't lose one of our family members. I'm glad just to see him back. So honestly, we weren't looking too deep into that. We were just glad to have everybody back that first day. It was kind of like a rejuvenation, first day type of practice, seeing all the new faces again. You know, so we were just thankful to have those guys back. It was a blessing from God, and that's all I can say about that one. Just thankful that everybody was back, ready to go.
Jaren, Mark said he said he saw a complete game out of your team. Would you agree with that assessment? And if so,
Say again?
Mark said this was a complete game from your team. Would you agree with that assessment, and why?
Yeah. It's just coming from Coach Schmidt. You know, normally he told you guys that. He didn't tell us that.
Yeah.
But we definitely have some things to work on. I turned the ball over a couple times. I shouldn't have. Going in the coffin corner. I missed Jalen a couple times. So some of those things we'll fix in the film. And it was definitely one of our better games, and it looked like you know, we were back out there having fun.
Speaking of having fun, when Shun goes down every time, do you guys get a little nervous out there on the court yourselves when he's?
No. Shun was dramatic. But that's my boy. He's getting up. He's one of the toughest guys I've ever met in my life. So he's getting up regardless. If he can walk, he's gonna play.
It seemed like him coming back out of the locker room with about 40 seconds to go, and then subsequently Quadri had that run. Did that have any effect on you guys, knowing that your big guy was back?
Yeah, for sure. You know, and you know, we can feel it, and you know, inside ourselves, but you know, also hearing it from the crowd. Yeah, it's huge.
And he anchors our defense. You know, and without him, our defense is not as nearly as good.
What'd you think of that block of his that went up almost into the red seats?
I tell Shoney he owes me when I set him up. But yeah, that was amazing. You know, Shoney, he be volleyball spiking stuff. So,
Anything else?
Three of their guys had four fouls. How big was that, just, in terms of getting those impact guys off the floor?
It was real big. That was our mentality coming into it because VCU is known for just being the aggressor, and throwing the first blows. But we did not want that to happen tonight. We did not let it happen, and our mentality of just being aggressive really, put some of their guys in a tough bind, and I think we really capitalized on it.
All right, thanks guys.